for The Perfect Girl, The Prostitute, and Other Stories. Thank you very much for those of you that sent in questions. I realize that a lot of you are still reading, and some of you, those in Nigeria that pre-ordered, still haven't gotten their books. I'm really sorry. Hopefully by next week you should get the book, and I will do another Q&A if I don't answer your questions in this, but I think I might, because I did get a lot. I'm just going to run through them because I want to keep this video as short as possible, maybe under 50 minutes, or I might, divide it into 7-minute increments. Why so long to write? I answered a bit of that in what I just said: procrastination, fear, all that. And I was traditionally going through, I was going through the traditional route, which is you send your work, you send queries to, thank God, thank goodness with this new module of publishing, everything is much quicker these days, and I'm sad about this. I believe that print might be on its way out. I don't know. How long did it take? Like I think I mentioned this in the previous video, but some of these short stories I had written in a writing class I took many years ago, 7 years ago to be exact, and so I had a few in my stash. Like 10 of them were new. So how long do you take me to write? April through August? I have to look back, and I'd say about 5 months. I will correct in the comments if I look back and find it was longer or shorter. But the whole process, let's call it April through, when did I release? November 18th or 22nd? April through November is what it took me. Any more in the works? Yes, more in the works. I'm constantly writing. I have a series coming out. Could be this year or maybe 2016, but I think it will be this year. Stay tuned. How did I stay motivated? Well, I had set a goal to publish by the end of 2014, and I just was determined to meet it. My vision board. I had accountability partners. I had friends of mine and my sister. I told them, I was like, listen, I'm committed to writing this book. Ask me when you remember. Have you written anything today? How far is the book coming? Just, keep me on my toes. And I also had my typeset. Yeah. So accountability partners. When you tell people, you kind of have to do it. You know what I mean? You've involved other people, so now you look bad if you don't follow through. Working mom, when did I write? Good question. I wrote on I have a commute of about an hour on the train or whatever, so I would write on my way. Usually when I knew it was crunch time, I'd be like, okay, at least write for 30 minutes before bed. And I also had a notebook, because I'm real old school like that. So during my lunch break, I would take my notebook and write. Just write. I said, don't worry about editing. It doesn't have to be perfect. You edit later when you're typing it. So that's why I had a lot of typing to do, because I had to put that in typing. What else? Who's my muse? All of you. No muse. I just draw inspiration from different people, and not necessarily these situations that didn't necessarily happen to anyone I know or whatever. They just, I have a crazy imagination, very active one, so I just imagine that everyone's not as perfect as they would like you to think they are. I know that I'm not perfect, so the image I project may not necessarily be me. And I said, if that's how I am, how about, what if this is happening? So I'm just, so don't worry, it's not about you. Though it could be. Okay, who published you? Interesting story. So, when I decided I was going to go the indie publishing, self-publishing route, I was like, okay, I could, I reached out to a couple of companies, and what they were what we call vanity publishers, as in they don't even really read your work. I mean, they have an editing package, but basically, publishers traditionally will look at your work, and it's happened to me before, and they'll be like, yeah, this is not what we're looking for. Sorry. It's not personal. It's just they don't feel they can sell your book or market your book, or maybe sometimes is they don't feel your writing is good. It benefits me to form my own publishing outfit, and that's what I did. Story Short Media, I own it, and it's I started primarily because of the tax benefits for me, and I love books, and I really about publishing other writers. Good. So when people criticize a book, not necessarily my book, but any book, and say, well, she should have done this or he should have done that, my challenge to them is, why don't you write the kind of book you'd like to read? That's what I did. I wrote the kind of book that I like to read. So that's it. Oh, I've dragged on about that. Where did I grow up? I grew up in a lovely town called Calabar, Nigeria. I was born in the States, but I lived my whole life in Calabar, Nigeria. Love the place. An honorary Efik girl. Let me see. Where did you learn all those big words? That's funny. Yeah, but I'm not sure I used a lot of big words. I tried to steer clear from big words. If I did, it was not intentional. But any words that maybe were unfamiliar, I guess when you read a lot, I read a lot. You pick up words from other works, and then you incorporate them into your vocabulary, and then before you know it, like I remember that Chimamanda's book, one of his book of hers I read, Purple Hibiscus. There's something she kept saying, étagère. I know it's some French word, and I didn't know, I'd never heard that word before. I looked it up, and it turns out it's some kind of, not a book stand, what they call those things where you set your knickknacks on, whatever. So that's what an étagère. I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly, but yeah. So you learn from other writers, other works that you read. Yeah. Now I get into the deep stuff. Why do I write about dysfunctional women? I didn't think those characters were dysfunctional. I just think, and I still think to this day, I just think they are human women like you and I think we go through a whole lot that if anyone could peek into our lives, they would think we're dysfunctional. No one is talking about it. And if you talk about it, it's seen because so few people are talking about it. But if everyone was saying what was going on, then that would be the norm and it wouldn't be dysfunction. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's my opinion. Do I intend to use my voice as a platform for emotionally disturbed women? This from the same person. Well, like I said, I disagree. I think these women are normal, just have issues, life issues. We all do. I don't care what y'all say. Everyone's going through something, and it doesn't make you emotionally disturbed. It just means you might be you might be involved in a situation that could be emotionally disturbing. There you go. Do I encourage women to talk or remain closeted? I think you all know the answer to that one. Those of you that know me personally know that I'm an open book. And I find people and communication and communication in general fascinating. I love to talk. I love to listen to people talk. And I love to read what people are not saying. I read between the lines a lot. You can be talking to me all day long and you tell me everything, and then I would draw my own conclusion. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I see what she was not. I see what she was trying to say. I see what she was trying to not say. Yes, God, I'm coming up with some gems in this one, y'all. Okay, what characters do I most identify with? I have to say, the sister. And because I'm one of 4 sisters, a lot. The sister, the writer, I really do identify with the writer. Character. We're getting into characters now. What happened to the runner? Or what happened to Zarina and the runner? I don't want to spoil the book for those of you who haven't read the book, but I will say what happened when I was writing the story, I was sure that the one person that the husband had something to do with it. I'm sorry, not the husband. That the stalker had something to do with it, as opposed to the husband. By the time I finished in the middle of the story, I kind of flipped it because I was like, yeah, that would be too obvious. And by the end, I wasn't sure myself. So what do you think happened to the runner? Because I sure don't know. What happened to the runner is what happened to the runner. I mean, only I don't know. I really don't. Um. Oh, did the lady in the coma wake up? Sorry, this is. I wanted her. A part of me wanted her to wake up and face, what it was, but I think when I ended it, I I kind of wanted her not to wake up, or she didn't wake up. Um, in the trip, did the girl ever see her fiance again? I think not, and I think she didn't want to. That was just her statement. That was her freedom. I think she was done with him because once he turned and went, it was over. And she knew that, and she was okay with that. That was the most important part for me. Does the perfect girl find true love? Ah, the perfect girl. I think she finds peace. Peace with who she is and what she is. And the fact that true love is not for everybody. Or true love as you and I may define it, it's not for everybody. Favorite stories. My favorite is The Sister. The Sister's grown on me because everyone else. Favorite stories. I like The Sister, mainly because, I'm a sister. And I think, and maybe a lot of people like The Sister, so I think that kind of made me start to like it more than I did originally. I like The Jewel. That might be my favorite. I just think it's very different. I think it goes where a lot of literature doesn't. It talks about stuff, sensitive stuff, but I like that I use a kind of poetic prose style to write it. I like it. A lot of people don't get it, but personally, that's a favorite. I like the writer. I like the writer a lot. And I like is it the father? The father. Yes, I like the father. Those are my four favorites. I can't rank them. On different days, I like different ones, depending on my mood. What's the next question? The next question is, why is the dream so weird? Well, because I'm weird. I don't know. I I wrote it to be weird. Favorite stories. I like The Sister, mainly because, I'm a sister. And I think, and maybe a lot of people like The Sister, so I think that kind of made me start to like it more than I did originally. I like The Jewel. That might be my favorite. I just think it's very different. I think it goes where a lot of literature doesn't. It talks about stuff, sensitive stuff, but I like that I use a kind of poetic prose style to write it. I like it. A lot of people don't get it, but personally, that's a favorite. I like the writer. I like the writer a lot. And I like is it the father? The father. Yes, I like the father. Those are my four favorites. I can't rank them. On different days, I like different ones, depending on my mood. What's the next question? The next question is, why is the dream so weird? Well, because I'm weird. I don't know. I I wrote it to be weird. I like that was the whole thing. Initially, the dream was supposed to be like this movie. I forget the name with Nicolas Cage, where he was an angel. I can't remember what I was writing. I was writing basically about an angel that fell in love with someone on Earth or something like that. Then I realized I was like, wait a minute, that's a movie already. So I had to change the whole concept, and it became less about that relationship and more about the dreamer. So yeah, let me see. Oh, I didn't really understand the jewel. What was the whole thing behind the jewel? Well, like I said, a lot of people, some people really liked it. If you didn't understand it, that's fine. Soliloquy of this woman who's having some issues and is feeling suicidal. So that's it.